So I end up getting hurt at Walmart. So first I caught a case, and in the midst of catching the case, my girlfriend at the time was pregnant. So I was about to have my second child. And so I got this baby on the way. I got this pending court case on me. I'm out on bail. And then I go to work one day and I throw my back out. So now I'm on workers' comp. So now I got no job. I can't afford my bills at the little house I'm at because I'm on work comp. I got a baby on the way. I got a court case. I feel like I just turned my phone on. It's not disturbing. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Welcome back to the Realtor Chronicles. Today we're going to interview Kamen. Tell people what you do.
Well, right now, I'm selling cars. Bro.
And how's that going for you?
Splendid.
All right. Now I want to talk to you about the first time I saw you after middle school.
After middle school?
Because you came a long way. In a short period of time, you turned your whole life around. But I saw you were working at Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just, I looked up and I was like, Kamen? And you're like, oh, Joe, what's up? And we had a quick conversation. You said you were rapping and you're trying to get your life together. And then what was going on? Like, what happened to you after you left middle school? Because most people, that was the last time they saw you.
Middle school, I think I moved out to Gary, Indiana. And I was living with my BM, my baby mama.
Okay.
And I had my first kid when I was 16, but I was still traveling from Indiana all the way to Downers Grove. So I would take the train from the Miller Beach in Indiana, from Gary, all the way to like Millennium Park in Chicago. And then I'd take the bus from that train station to the Union Station, and then take that train, Metro, to Downers Grove. And then I would take the Pace bus from that station close enough to the school to where I could catch one of the school buses.
Well, you're doing this all in one day?
Yeah, every morning.
How long was the trip?
About 3 hours.
So you have to wake up 3 hours before school started?
Yeah.
To get to school. And then, what school are you going to? Downers Grove South? Or North-South at this point? And then you had to go back another 3 hours at the end of the day because you would get out at like, what, 3 o'clock, 3:20?
Yep.
To go back, so you wouldn't be home till like 6, 7, 8?
7:30 most of the time because, I mean, it all depends. Like, you can miss one train and now you got to wait another hour. So that's why I had to wake up on time. It was like important to wake up on time because if you miss one train, it's going to throw the whole thing off. Because, you know, if you catching the Metro train from Chicago, if you get there at a certain time, you could catch the express train. So now I don't have to make every stop just to get to my destination. I can get straight from Chicago. I'll probably make 2 stops like LaGrange and Brookfield, and then straight to Downers Grove. And it's a lot shorter.
Yeah, it's like.
But if I miss that train,
you're stopping. It's like an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
So how long did you do that for? Because I know you didn't go to high school with us all the years.
No, I went to Hinsdale South for my freshman year. But sophomore, junior, and senior year, I went to DGS. And senior year, I did that the entire year pretty much.
And then so I saw you after high school, I think, then.
Yeah, you saw me right after high school, and that's when I was working at Walmart. So I had just moved back from Gary when you saw me.
So how did you're living in Aurora, you're working at Walmart, like what was like life like going?
Life was really, really different then from what it's like right now. When you saw me, I had just moved from Gary. So my daughter and my daughter's mom was still in Gary. And my mom had moved from Downers Grove to Aurora while I was living in Gary. So when I finally decided, like, okay, like I need to start over and start fresh and get my head together, my mom was living in Aurora. So that's why I moved in at. And then I was like, all right, well, what's the closest thing to here? I don't have a car. I don't have any money. I need something close. And Walmart was the closest thing to a house. So I started working there. And I remember I would borrow a friend's car every other weekend to go to Gary to go pick up my daughter and bring her back for the weekend. So life was very different then. Life was very different.
So how long did you live there for? Or how long were you there for?
At Walmart?
Walmart, and then also like in Aurora, because I know there was a certain point where I didn't see you for like a few years, and then I saw you again, and like life seemed to change.
Yeah, dramatically. Well, I was in Aurora the whole time.
Okay.
So what happened was I was in different parts of Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
Aurora is pretty big, but at the same time, it's really small because a lot of people know each other.
Mm-hmm.
You got the west side, you got the east side, you got like the side that's almost not even Aurora, kind of more like Batavia almost, but it's still Aurora. Then you got North Aurora, which is basically almost still Aurora. So I was moving around a lot within Aurora, but that's probably why you didn't see me, because I was on the worst sides of Aurora after that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Let me ask you so beforehand you said life kind of went down again for you. You broke your back.
Yeah.
Like what ended up happening after that? After you broke your back, I know like life you said took a turn. You were kind of living in like
a storage room.
For a while.
I was living in a storage room for about a year. So I ended up getting hurt at Walmart. Mm-hmm. So first I caught a case, and in the midst of catching the case, my girlfriend at the time was pregnant. So I was about to have my second child. Mm-hmm. And so I got this baby on the way. I got this pending court case on me. I'm out on bail. And then I go to work one day and I throw my back out. So now I'm on workers' comp. So now I got no job. I can't afford my bills at the little house I'm at because I'm on work comp. I got a baby on the way. Mm-hmm. I got a court case. So it was a lot at one time. And I did that for about a year because I got hurt in the end of 2019. And that was at a time where all the hospitals were just like shutting down and you couldn't really get in unless you had COVID. Mm-hmm. So they had to kind of put like my surgery and stuff on the back burner. So I had a lot of time like with no job and couldn't get a job because nobody would hire me because I'm on workers' comp. A lot of time with like no car because I couldn't get approved for a car because they don't take workers' comp as income, and I couldn't get another apartment even if I found one cheap enough that I could afford because they didn't take that as income. So it was like I'm just out in my storage room. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I did that for about a year. Yeah.
No, I know up to the year, that's when the story kind of turned to go up. Yeah. Can you explain like what you ended up doing, like how, because like you were telling me like you bought like a car and then you tried trading it in and then everything started like changing from there.
Yeah. So, so I was just like, I was real big on trying to find out how to get out of my situation because it wasn't a pretty situation. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what? If I can't get a job, I'm going to have to figure out how to make more money. And I wanted to make sure I did it legally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just started going to Starbucks in the morning and sitting there using the free Wi-Fi, YouTube and stuff, Googling stuff, like how can I make income for myself? How can I generate income with starting with basically nothing? You know what I mean? And I found Turo. So I liked the Turo idea, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. But the problem was that I didn't have a job, so I couldn't get approved for a car loan. So I had to go back to work light duty, and I had just got the surgery. So even though I'm doing like recovery, physical therapy, and they're like, well, we're going to give you some more time to take a break. I'm like, no, send me back to work. And it wasn't to get back to work. It was so I could figure out how to do something else for myself. So I went to CarMax after I think about 2 months of going back to work. And I remember just like Ubering back and forth. I'm like, I can't wait to get this car. Like, because when I get this car, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, you know, for myself. And I go to work for about 2 months. I get those two pay stubs that show I've been there for a little bit again now. I go to CarMax, I put some money down, get a car. They got a 30-day money back guarantee. So I was like, all right, cool. So what I did was I got the car. It was a 2020 Kia Optima. And I liked the car. It was nice. But I thought to myself, like, okay, well, I want to see what the 2021 Kia Optima look like. Because I know if I put the newest car on the platform,
it was going to do better.
Right, it would do better. I would probably get more hits. So I took the car that I bought from CarMax to the Kia car dealership. And I walked in and I asked the guy, I said, hey, I'm here to see what the 2021 Kia Optimas look like because I got a 2020 and I want to try to see if I want to upgrade it or not, or if it's like the same car. And he told me, well, we don't make Kia Optima anymore. They discontinued that. We make the K5. I said, K5? What's that? And when he showed it to me, I was like, yeah, I got to trade this car in. So what I did was I just took the car back to CarMax, got my down payment back. And but before I did that, I made sure I negotiated a deal with the guys at the Kia dealership. Like, hey, look, I just bought this car. This is what I put down. This is what I'm paying. If you can't come close to this with the same numbers, I don't want the car because I'm not in the need for the car. I'm here because I want the car. So they were like, okay, cool. So we worked on some numbers. We actually worked on the numbers for 2 days because they didn't give me the price I wanted at first and I left. Then I came back the next day. It's like, wow, you back again? I'm like, yeah, I really want that car. They was like, all right, cool. So they helped me out. They got to the right numbers and I was like, bet. I go and take the car back to CarMax, Uber back to the dealership. And as I'm there signing for the car, the GM spoke to me and he was like, man, I really like the way you come in and handle yourself. And they asked me, why did it show on my credit application that I worked at Walmart for 5 years, but when they ran my pay stubs, it showed that I've only been there for 2 months. So I gave them the whole story of how I was living in the storage room, how I was fighting the case, and what I was trying to get the car for and stuff like that. And he asked me, he said, well, what are you doing now at Walmart? And I told him, well, I'm just door greeting. I'm light duty because I can't fulfill my manager role anymore, all the push and pulling and stuff like that for the time being. And he just asked me straight up. He said, well, why don't you just come work here with us? And I said, oh, y'all hiring? And he said, no, but I'll hire you. I was like, cool. So I left with a car and a job that day. And I put the car on Turo and I did that for about 7-8 months. That made good income. But then I was like, man, I need to stop using this income to Uber to get to work. I could just use my car and it was really good money. So I was like, man, I'm making unbelievable money right now. I could just use my car to get to work. So I took it off of Turo, but it did help for a while. It was nice.
Cause yeah, like I remember you telling me like you were still Ubering,
yeah,
and like you're Ubering to work, but then you saw this car going out, and I was like, "What do you mean?" And you're like, "Oh, the car's getting paid for. I'm making money," but I'm like, "You're paying for the Uber."
Yeah, well, it was still highly profitable because the car was turning like $1,500 a month, and my Ubers weren't that much. But I just found it to be more beneficial for me to have my own car at all times. You know, like, all right, what if I want to go out and eat? Like, I don't want to Uber for that too, you know. And I was like, you know what? I like my car. It was a nice car.
It was the white one, right?
Yeah, the white one with the black roof. I was like, you know, I'm gonna just take my car because it wasn't that much money for me to want to just keep doing it because I was making really good money where I was. So I took it off.
So was it like a straight 9-day difference, like when you started like work? Because like also, I know as a car salesman, you had to like dress nice, like.
Oh yeah, it was a night and day difference. When they told me they would hire me, I had braids. I had like a crazy beard. Like you gotta like everything I was going through. Like I wasn't even worried about looking nice when I came into the dealership. I'm like, hey, I'm here for this car. I'm here for this car. Can you give me this car? If you can't, I'm gone. I got a car already. Like I'm good. I just want to start my business, you know. So when he told me that he liked me, I really feel like he liked me for me. It wasn't because I came in super fancy or super educated or anything like that. They just seen the motivation and the drive and the heart that I had to offer. And he wanted that on his team, so he gave me an opportunity. But yeah, it was night and day, like putting on a button up and a tie, cleaning myself up, cutting my hair off, trying to change the way I speak, everything like that. But I had a lot of that. I had a lot of that from going to DGS already. I had a lot of that in me because I moved from the city to DGS. Well, not to DGS. Where did we go to school? Edgewood. And by the time I went through Jefferson and Downers Grove, I'm like, I know how to talk. Like, I know the proper way to speak if I need to, like, conduct business and stuff like that. So I had that in my background, but they didn't know that.
So they hired you just because of heart.
Yeah, just based off the strength, And once I put on that tie and that suit, and I got to talking like that, I was like, oh yeah, we made the right choice.
So then, how long did it take you? Because you're top salesman.
Most of the time. So yeah, it's a lot of good salesmen there. It's a lot of good salesmen there. I won't say I'm that all the time, but I'm definitely in the top 5 all the time.
Because I remember like during your brother's birthday, you like pulled up the chart and like you were like double above. Like
yeah. No, like when I want to, like I'll put it this way. I've been doing it for a while now, so I'm not as hungry as I was when I first started. I should be. That's a problem that I have to fix now. I'm not as hungry, but when I first came in, I was. If I wanted it, it was mine. Couldn't nobody have it unless I let them have it. But now it's kind of like, oh man, these boys in here grinding. And I'm kind of like relaxing, but I got to change that up. I just got comfortable.
Now, what are some skills that you had to learn, like once you started like car salesman? Like as you said, you were in like beforehand, you were in Starbucks, like using free Wi-Fi, like learning how to make money. Like, did you do the same thing? Like, did you read certain books? Did you like watch certain videos on YouTube? Or like, what did you focus on to really break to that next level?
Well, I did a lot of watching other salespeople there. I didn't do too much reading on how to be a salesperson because I don't feel like that's going to take you far. I heard it was a couple books that could help, but I feel like just being out there in the field and getting your hands like ready. It's just like learning a trade almost. It's a skill. Like it's a hands-on thing. You got to really be there to feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like you could play video games and simulators and all types of stuff, but it ain't nothing like getting behind the wheel. You know what I mean? So, and getting on the road. So just being thrown in there and learning how to swim, really, like I learned as I went. And I learned a lot from the customers and I learned a lot from my managers. Like I learned from everything around me and I learned from how I would want to be treated as a customer. So learning how to like little things like putting empathy over sympathy. That's a big thing because you have sympathy, it's not really going to win you anything. But if you have empathy and just let them know you understand, but these are the circumstances, you can kind of bring them back in and get them to pretty much like follow your lead.
So like now going forward, I also know like you have what's the vending machine business?
Yeah.
You talked about maybe starting up your car business to like renting out cars. Like what are you doing to make like passive income?
Right now, the only passive income I got going right now, which is actually going pretty good, and I want to just kind of like scale that part of the business of residual income, is the vending machines. So that's been pretty nice. I mean, it's not a lot of labor. It's not like you're putting a lot of hours in. You just going to the store. I got to go to the store to buy stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Like, so I get my grocery shopping done and I get my vending machine shopping done on the same day every week. And I go on my off day, I fill up the machine, and I come back the next week, I take the money out and repeat, rinse, repeat. You know what I mean? And so that's pretty easy. I like that, the money that comes from that. So I'm looking at trying to purchase at least 2 to 3 more machines to see what that does and put them in different locations. The big part about vending is not even about the snacks or the type of machine, it's the location. So you gotta find the right location,
Mm-hmm.
else your product not gonna move, and then it expires.
How are you finding these locations? Like, what do you look for in a proper location?
Foot traffic,
Mm-hmm.
foot traffic, and what kind of foot traffic? Like, and I think about like anytime I go somewhere, I think about it from a business standpoint, or just like I had that mindset to where I'm like, I would do this in order to make money right here. Like I go to the park with my kids, and my kids say they're thirsty,
Mm-hmm.
but the water fountain don't work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this would be the perfect spot for a vending machine. I have Gatorade, Propel, water, juice, maybe even if I can put juice in there or whatever. Like, I think about that type of stuff, and I think about the location. Like, is this a good park? Is this a good area? Is it a good community? Do I have to worry about the machine being tampered with, or vandalized and stuff like that? But I'm like, I'm in the middle of Wheaton right now, so I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. Stuff like that. And making sure you reach out to the right people who's ever like over that location and be like, hey, is this okay? And making sure you had a permission. And then once you get the permission, I mean, you're in there.
Cause yeah, I've never seen them at parks, but it seems like a great place to put them. The water fountain never really works.
Yeah, no, it never works. And then when it do work, it's like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's hot.
It don't look clean. It's like the dogs be drinking out of them and stuff. So it's like, I probably feel more comfortable if I could have a vending machine right there and look at it and be like, oh man, I got options, So yeah.
Now going back, I know you also used to rap.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still rap?
I wouldn't say I rap. Nah, I'm around a lot of people who rap, and they ask me like, "Man, when you gonna drop a song, or when you gonna drop a mixtape? Like, you got the skill to do it." And I don't know what it is. Like, I'll write a whole song, bro, and I'll rap it for my friends or my brothers or whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh my goodness, boy, this is better than like most of the stuff you hear on the radio or whatever. Like, you gotta drop this, But I think my problem with it is that I feel like once I start that, I have to pursue it. Because let's say like one song really takes off. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, okay, I'm a rapper now? You know what I mean? Right, then I got to drop another song. And I'm just like always I'm always moving around. I'm always doing something to where I feel like I don't like spending most of my time doing one thing. And like all my friends say that, like, bro, can you sit still? Can you chill out for 1 minute? Like, we just want to sit down and have drinks and stuff. And every now and then that's cool, but I'm always on the move. I'm trying to find out what's next, what can make this type of money, or how can I set my kids up for success, and what can I learn so I'm able to teach them, and what mistakes can I make so I can teach them what not to do, and stuff like that. So I'm always out doing something and looking for something new to do and something new to learn. And I just feel like the rapping thing, yeah, that would be cool, but I feel like that kind of ties me into one thing.
I mean, you could do a little bit of everything. I would love to hear one of these songs.
Man, I'm going to have to play you one day. I'm going to have to get you one so you can hear
one of them, I know, like, I had, like, Brandon on here. And, like, Brandon has, like, a little studio now.
Yeah.
He does from home. He's, like, having people there. Like, you got to just drop a few bars.
Yeah, man. Like, and now, you know what? It's crazy because I built a home studio in my house, in my garage. And I didn't use it. Like, I was like, you know what? I had let my brothers and my friends and my girl convince me and everything. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start rapping. And I spent a bag. I spent the bag on like all this equipment. I went to like Guitar Center, and it was like, this is if you're just starting off, and this is if you got like the real deal studio. I'm like, give me the real deal stuff. I'm serious. I'm like, give me the real deal stuff. Give me the nice mic. Give me the nice lights and everything. Like, and I got a whole laptop, like a brand new laptop just based off like the RAM and stuff like that to make sure that I was doing this stuff. And bro,
so you spent some money.
I spent some money, but all that stuff, it's not that it's not being used. It is being used. I'm just not the one using it. So my brother has a studio and they use all the equipment. So I'm happy it's being used, and I still got my laptop. Like, that's what I look up most of my research on. whenever I'm looking at stuff.
But you got a laptop that's able to
do a lot of stuff.
Do a lot of shit.
Yeah. And I went into the Apple store. I was like, no, I needed to have this, and I needed to be capable to do this. And like, I don't care about the price. Just give me the computer. Like, give me the warranty. Give me everything. Like, you know, and I bought all that stuff, and then I never made it home.
I did the same thing. I spent like $3,000 on a laptop that I'm just Googling shit.
Yeah. I'd be like, well, I guess I haven't used this laptop in a minute, so let me charge it up and open it up and look up something that I could look up on my phone because I have a laptop. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not using it for what I bought it for.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Damn. So what are some secrets about like the car industry? Now that you work in it, like how can you help our audience buy a car?
You know what? I actually thought about that. Like I said, I'm always thinking. And I was like, man, I should open a business called The Negotiators. Basically, like whenever you want to buy a car, if you don't want to get gypped or you want to make sure you're getting the best deal possible, like call us. And we'll come out. We'll send somebody to go with you into the car dealership. And you'll pay us a small amount to come with you. But we promise that you'll leave with a very aggressive deal compared to if you would have probably went by yourself. Because we know the ins and outs. I don't want to give up all the sauce. But what I would say is do your research. Like,
now you're saying do your research, like, people don't know anything. Like, what are we researching?
Like, research the value of the car you're looking at. Research the ratings. Like, if you're looking at one of the safest cars in America, like, don't go in there being cheap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if they ask you for the money for it, understand that if you want something cheaper, then go look at something that's not as high rated. You know what I mean? Like, don't go in there and try to haggle all this and fight over the price over something where you know it's the best car out there. Understand that right now, like in the market we in, it's probably going to cost you a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? To have the best of the best. So stuff like that. But some customers are just like, well, it says this, so I should be able to buy it for this. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I would just do my research because a lot of customers come in and don't really know what they want. And they don't really know, once they find what they like or what they think they want, they don't really know how much it's supposed to cost. And so we charge them what we feel like we can charge. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the name of the game. But, yeah, I would definitely do my research before buying a car.
What is, like, the most, like, popular car that you sell?
It's definitely a Kia Telluride.
What is that?
That's a 3-row seater vehicle that they have. They got two of them. They got the Sorrento and they got the Telluride.
Is it like the one you have?
Yeah, that's what I drive.
Okay.
That's what I drive.
So an SUV.
Yeah, I drive a 2023 Kia Telluride. That's definitely the most popular vehicle we sell. But right now, all of Kia's vehicles with the new redesign and the new logo, the rebranding and the styling of the car, everything, like the warranties on the vehicle, like, every Kia is a popular Kia. So you probably see a lot of them like flooding the streets right now. You're like, man, I remember when Kia was a throwaway car.
But like, I love how like the ceiling of the car is like all glass.
Yeah.
I love that. Like every time I hop in a Kia, I like look up and I'm like, this is so nice.
Yeah.
I know your car had it like every time I like.
Yeah, my K5 had it. Yeah, my K5 had
like your K5 felt like it was like a supercar, like an Audi.
Yeah, like
but it wasn't.
Well, you know the top designer, Peter Schreider, from Audi. So he was Audi's top designer for years. He actually quit and came over to Kia. So he designs Kia now. He designed the K5 I drove. He designed the Telluride, the Kia Stinger, which is like Kia's supercar, sport car, whatever you want to call it. The new EV6, which is the electric car that looks like a spaceship. They giving Tesla a run for their money. So it kind of looked like an Audi for a reason. You know what I mean?
Because I know, like, I want to buy one. Like, after, like, seeing yours, I'm not really, like, an SUV guy. If I have an SUV, I know I'm going to get those calls that can help me move some stuff or pick some stuff up. So I like to stay, which is, like, a coupe or something like that. But, like that drive in your car, like, we were just, like, chilling. You're like, oh, yeah, it drives, like
it drives itself. We chilling. Like, it's driving itself. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah. But I mean, like a lot of these cars, like not just Kia, a lot of cars have a lot of different things to offer. So they do make a nice car, but I don't feel tied in to just work for them as well. I see other cars that I like that do a lot of stuff too. So I'm thinking about trying to trade in my Telluride soon, probably after a few years, to get an Escalade. So yeah, once that's the big boy right there though. So I'm gonna wait it out a little bit.
How does that work? Like, would you, if you had one, if let's say like, how does it work with like, if I go into like your Kia dealership, but then I see that you have like an Audi, how does that work out? Like, is it someone traded it in, or like can you Kia buy from like if it's like selling? Like
we could buy from auctions. We could buy from whatever. Like the dealership got money to buy whatever, but it usually comes from a customer trading it in.
Okay.
Yeah, a customer trading it in. Like I remember we bought when the EV6, the electric vehicle came out. We bought a brand new Mach E. That's the Ford electric Mustang truck that they just dropped. We bought a brand new Mach E just to let the customers compare the cars, to show them how better the Kia was. Like it was brand new. Like nobody traded it in. We just bought one, like just because. Yeah.
That's kind of wild marketing.
Yeah, I know, but hey, the money came in. Yeah, it works. You could pay all that money to market, but once the money starts flowing in, you don't really count what you spent to make it happen. Yeah.
So how does that for your job? How do you like? Is it all walk-in clients, or like how are you bringing in clients now?
I was just thinking about that too. You asking a lot of good questions, Joe. Most of the time when you knew it's walk-in clients and personal, like close family members, like now my uncle drive a Kia from sitting at the dinner table and I'm telling him like the ratings of the car and stuff like that, and he does his research. So after doing it, he's like, oh, he's right. And he came in and purchased a car. I sold my mom a car. I sold a couple friends cars and stuff like that, but most is just walk-in clients. But one thing I can do better, which I don't do right now, which I would really want to start doing, which I'm going to start doing, is generating my own business. So bringing in clients from outside in to actually see me. So it's a lot of like social media content I could be making, TikToks and stuff like that, which will drive customers to come in to see me. Because a lot of times I run into people we went to high school with, and they working with a different salesperson, and I walk past and they go, Kamen? I'll be like, yo, what's up? And they be like, I wish I would have knew you worked here. I'm buying a car right now, and I would have bought it from you. And I'm like, oh, it's cool. Like, go ahead, let them eat too. Like, I'm happy that they selling a car. Like, just call me next time whenever you need something. Or now, since you know I'm here, let people know I'm here. And I've got a couple people like get in my inbox like, hey, so-and-so told me you work at Kia. I was interested in the Sportage. I want the gray one with the red seats. Can I come get one? I'm like, yeah, come on.
Yeah, I didn't know like when I bought my car. I think like we didn't start talking until after the pandemic, because like when I saw you again, and then you're like, oh yeah, okay, Kia. I was like, well, damn, I could have. I bought a Toyota, but like I would have came to Kia, saw what was going on there, because I know everything was like super cheap. But
yeah.
So then, what is your plan to like generate more leads?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and make a like a Facebook page, Instagram, and a TikTok, and see what that brings in, and just like posting the cars on the different platforms. Like I know we just had a Hellcat up there, and I think I could have got it off before the other guys got it off. If I was sharing it to like Facebook and stuff like that, I think I would have generated that business.
Do you ever use like Facebook Marketplace?
That's what I'm saying too. Like, yeah, Facebook Marketplace.
Like if you were to take like pictures of it.
Exactly. There's one guy at a different dealership who did that, and they said he generated 20 extra sales a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I got to stop playing around.
Because you could put like, because I do like my apartments on Facebook Marketplace. Like even for like an apartment in like an interesting neighborhood.
Exactly.
I got almost like 2,000 clicks.
Yeah.
But it's like I learned now that you have to do it on like the business profile. Yeah. Because you can have an auto response. Because like I always send out like an email like, hey, this is the criteria for this. Now I always have to like text it out, and then I looked it up and they're like, yeah, if you have a business account, post your stuff on business to automatically text them back like, hey, this is where it's going.
Does it cost?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I haven't used it yet because I'm still stuck. I can't like take this one down, switch accounts, and put it back up.
Right. Because I started to make like a little profile for the marketplace, but
for the market, no.
Yeah, but I haven't looked into it too deeply. I haven't completed it, but now I'm gonna look into that as well.
But like, and then make your Instagram not a business account, a creative account, because then it can link to your normal account. If you do a business account, it links to your Facebook business account. But I just like doing a creative account because then it links to my original Facebook, and then I just get the reels that I post on my Instagram now go straight to my Facebook, and now all my mom's friends and everybody can see it. That I generated, they see it now. Yeah. So I'm getting like in a few hours I get like over 100 views, and it blows up like to 5, 6. It's going.
Yeah, I was even going to like put stuff on Snapchat. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, look at what we just got in, and make TikToks on it and stuff like that. So
and then Threads.
Oh yeah.
Because you can post your thread on your story on Instagram directly from Thread. So you'll post a thread and you can send it to Instagram and it automatically posts it on your story. So you can just have, just like you're talking about Snapchat, just post it on your Instagram. Unless you have a lot of people on Snapchat.
Yeah, I got a lot of people on Snapchat.
Then I'll probably do like a quick like, hey, we got this in. This is the criteria. Let me know if you want to stop by and see it.
I do both. I do all that.
So Instagram goes straight to Facebook and then Threads. So it's all linked like that way.
It's all linked, yeah.
But now Snapchat is the only one that's like out there. So I'm like, I don't use it, but I'm like, I probably could. Like, I've used it a few times.
I get a lot of hits on stuff on Snapchat, man. I get so many messages like when I post something, like, and I don't be expecting it either. You know what I mean? So I think it's a decent platform for me to kind of like expand out. Yeah.
So what's next? Like, what's the next few moves that you're thinking of? I know you want to start like negotiators, but that's on the low key.
Yeah, maybe I'm always coming up with new ideas. Really, right now, like I've been talking to you on the side about it, like just the real estate game. I kind of want to put some more money to the side and make sure my credit is in like tip-top shape and everything like that, and kind of go and still fix a little bit more stuff I feel like I can fix from my past that I haven't really took 100% care of yet. I want to just make sure that I'm really, really, really wiping my slate clean and starting fresh and building up with the right foundation underneath. And I want to get into the multifamily units soon as possible, you know. So I know we've been talking about making that happen and just like waiting for the right time and the right location. Because I could go and find one right now, be like, all right, yeah, this is a multifamily unit for the right price, but it won't be where I want it to be.
Well, it's like even like I've been running numbers for somebody else and we're having a lot of problems. So like multi-units, the numbers just don't make sense. Yeah. We could find them all day, but like if you're putting down only 3%, like the numbers just aren't making sense, and you're not going to be able to. You're not going to be profitable. And there's also like they allow you to use 75% of the loan, like 75%. You have to prove that 75% of the rents coming in, if it's over a 3-unit, you can use it has to cover the PITI. So it's like what you like the taxes, insurance, what's going to cost and stuff like that. Yeah. You have to cover it. I could like run it for you to show you. But a lot of places aren't covering it. Or if it does cover, it's hot. Like, we had one that, like, was able to cover. I called my client. I'm like, hey, we found one. Can you go see it this Friday? It's a 2-hour span. I called the agent. He's like, in this 2-hour span, we have about 16 people. And we can only show it Friday. So I'm like, okay, let's, like, book a showing. He called the next day. He's like, hey, someone put a cash out for it without seeing it. It's done. And I'm like, okay.
Gotta have the money ready. You gotta be ready to dump on it, man. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have, like, more cash, you put down a bigger down payment, and then, like, you can maybe make it work that way. Yeah. But, like, we haven't been able to find anything.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing is basically just stacking this cheese up, man, and wanting to get something that I could have my family in and pass down to my kids and kind of show them a different game because I don't plan on punching nobody clock forever.
You guys have your own thing?
Yeah, man. Something gonna have to give. I don't plan on working too long. Like you already said, I had back surgery. I feel good now, but I just don't see myself I don't see myself 55. Like, I remember working at Walmart and I was the manager and I was managing 65-year-old people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they weren't there just because they wanted to be. They was there because they needed to be. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of the only places that hired them. And I always promised myself, like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want my kids to be like that. And I definitely don't want my mom to be like that. Mm-hmm. So before I even get myself in that position, I got to think of, because my mom's older than me. My mom is closer to 65 than I am. So what can I do to start getting this ball rolling right now at a young age to make sure that she's not like that, I'm not like that, my kids, all the way down to my great-grandkids, you know, try to set everybody up for success the best way possible, really.
Sounds like you got a lot on your plate, a lot to think about.
Yeah, but we all do.
That is the truth.
Yeah, we all do, man. It's just about how you move forward with everything, and like you can come up with as many plans as possible. Like, I know a lot of people who come up with good ideas, but the problem come in with execution. You know, don't nobody execute. So you just got to make sure you execute.
Now, before we go, do you have any questions for me, like real estate wise? Like, I know we've talked.
Yeah, we've talked
hours.
We've talked so
much. We've had dinners. We've talked about everything.
Yeah.
But do you have any like major things like that you've been thinking of, like anything I can answer?
I had a few questions. I did have a few questions, and then I feel like I got them answered because me and my mom just went through this thing of about to sell our house, and I was like, I'm gonna call Joe. I'm gonna call Joe so Joe can sell it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And she was like, well, I already promised, because her best friend is a real estate agent. She was like, and I bought it through her, and she told me if I ever sell it, I made a promise that I would also sell it with her. I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not my property, so you know what? So it's cool. But when I'm gonna buy mine, I already know who I'm working with. You know what I mean? So we went through this thing, and I feel like I had a whole bunch of questions, but then her friend came and pretty much answered them all. And then I kind of came up with some ideas with myself too, like, well, even though she said this, I think this would be better. And so we kind of went with what I felt would be better, even though it's her expertise. We're going to play this out a different way. So we put it on the market for sale. So
I was about to say, like, tell me where it's going to sell. I might have clients, like, beforehand.
Oh, my goodness, bro. You should have seen how many offers we got right away, like, especially in the Naperville area, like, where I live right on the outskirt of Naperville, like, literally. I'm probably, like, 2 to 3 minutes from Naperville. And as soon as we posted it, because it's still in Naperville School District, and it's right off the E-Way, right off 88. As soon as we posted it the first day, I think we had, like, 6 showings. And somebody put an offer in or something like that. Then the next day, and everything was just moving so fast that I didn't have time to think. And the next day, we had 10 showings, and I was like, all right, hold on. Is this the right thing to do? Are we doing the right? Because there's so many people, like, it's like sharks in the water. You know what I'm saying?
That's low inventory, and a lot of people want to buy it. It's a townhouse, right?
It's a townhouse.
So, those townhouses are hot right now.
Exactly. And it's in a nice school district, nice area. It's a beautiful home. We had it posted at a competitive price, everything. And it's a lot of equity in it, too. And we was thinking about taking the equity and getting something bigger. And I just sat back and I thought about it. And I was like, nah, we're going to rent this out. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep this because we're so close to paying it off. And we're going to show this income.
What? Yeah. You guys didn't sell it?
No, we took it off the market. We took it off the market, and we've been getting so many messages like, hey, I think one guy said, hey, I see that you took, and he said the address off of the market. I just want to let you know, maybe if I was your agent, I would have did things a little bit differently to help you keep it on the market. Like, so many messages from random people.
Yeah, because like, even like I'm starting like a canceled and canceled and expired campaign. So it's something like that. Like, I'd reach out to people like, I'd see it and like reach out to the owners.
Yeah. So it's like, I think like a lot of them guys had like templates like ready. You know, like just copy paste send, because a lot of these guys was from different places, but it all sounded the same. a little bit different with each one.
Yeah.
Like it was some that was kind of like spicy and kinky. Like I should have been the person to try to sell the house. I would have sold it for you. But we had a really good agent and she did a really good job. But we just decided to take it off the market, stick with it, and build it to the inventory that we plan on having because it is a nice spot, you know. And I currently live there right now, so I was like,
I was gonna ask you, where do you like what?
Yeah, I live there.
What happened? Like, where'd you guys move to? Like,
I live there. My mom doesn't live there. I just live there by myself.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. I think I'd rather just rent this out and get some income.
I mean, how many like rooms? Like what?
It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage, upstairs, downstairs.
You could rent out a room.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I was thinking
like
about
Jonathan will say wanted like he's like always told me he's like if you buy a place like I'll move in with you. I'm like, okay, like once I get the money set together, I'll buy a place and you can like move in.
I was just talking to my boy Kamari. I don't know if you remember him, but he was just at the house before I came over here.
You were in the music video with him.
Yep. So I was just at the house with him before I got here, and he walked in the house and he said, "Damn, why it look like you moving out?" And he saw the little keypad thing on the door for when the person's doing the showings. He was like, it's like it's not empty, but it's super duper clean. Like it's like I'm walking into an Airbnb for the first time. Like it's like you got plants and pictures and stuff up now, like artwork stuff I didn't have before while I was living there because I was just chilling.
Yeah.
So now I got it staged. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like showroom ready all the time. Like, and I was telling him like what the whole process was and how I was going to sell it, and then I decided to not sell it and keep it, and what I was going to do with it now. And I was like, if you want to, you could come in, get a room, but if not, I'm going to be looking at collecting market price rent from somebody else, you know. So, but we're in the midst of figuring out all that right now, and then we'll be going from there.
I was about to say, you should have told me. Like, I know. There were so many times I was like, you should have just told me. I would have at least brought somebody to see it because I have people everywhere that are looking.
Bro, like, I didn't even have time to get all of my stuff like cleaned up out of the way. Like the photographer, like I said, I think I want to sell this spot. The photographer was there the next day. Like I like talking to the photographer, like, all right, give me like 10 minutes. Let me make up my bed. Let me clean off my mirror. Like I don't want no pictures of it. It's just like I'll be seeing houses sometimes and I'll be like, I would have really like cleaned this up before taking pictures. So, but yeah, I got some nice pics.
I mean, that's why like we tell our clients like just don't do like nothing like crazy, but like clean. We'll go in and like if you like have artwork, we'll try to rearrange. Yeah. But it's like clean and just clean. And if you want to paint, maybe like paint up if it's like some stuff on the walls. Maybe if you have like paint left over, like paint those spots and try to just make it like very nice and clean, like declutter, take it down like family pictures and stuff, and like so like when people walk in, it's just like wow.
Yeah, because for the most part, I kept it clean, but I kept it personal. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like a picture of my son here, a picture of my daughter here, a picture of my mom over there, like artwork that me and my brother Drew posted on the wall over here. But it's clean, but I had to take all that stuff down and put more like universal artwork, you know what I'm saying? Like a picture of a beach right here, even though like I don't know what beach this is, all I know is it's a beach, but it looked nice right here, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Whole patio, new patio set and stuff like that is. And then he walked in and it was funny because he said, "Damn, you should have had it like this the whole time you lived here. This looked nice." I was like, I'm thinking about keeping it this way. So
you gotta have me over one of these days. Like I love to see it. Like
yeah, man. You come over anytime, bro. You come over anytime.
I'll give you a call. I know, like it's like a week on, a week off. Your schedule's like booked for every other week.
Oh yeah, with the kids. Yeah, with the kids for sure. Like I don't move nothing out the way for nobody. If that's my weekend with my kids, I'm dedicated to that. Because I already work so many hours, you know, so when I do get that time off and it's with my kids, I'm already fiending for it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not against people kicking it with me, with my kids too, depending on who it is. Like, of course you cool, but I ain't going out with too many people while I'm with my kids, you know, gotta watch who you have your kids around sometimes. The different influences and stuff that people like to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like super funny that time I dropped off the candy at your baby mama's house.
Yeah.
Like we walked upstairs and you opened the door. He's like, "Hey kids, come here. A white man came to give you candy."
I was just playing with them. I was playing with them when I said that. Yeah, when I said that.
And I was like, whose kids are these? Like, there's like a bunch.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
I was like looking at you, like, what's going on? Like, I have like more candy in the car. Like,
it's a lot of kids here. Yeah, all them kids wasn't mine. All them kids wasn't mine. Only 2 of them was mine. But the neighbors had kids, and like they live in the same building, so they all come over and eat. One day, my BM will make dinner for all the kids. Then the next day, the lady next door will make dinner. Like they take turns taking care of all the kids. Like, they growing up together. So I didn't even think about it when you came with the candy. Like, yeah, it's more kids in here. I just knew that you was like, hey, I want to drop off some candy for the kids. And I just be talking crazy, bro.
It was like so funny. I just wasn't expecting it. Like they're all like looking at me, and I was like looking at them, and like.
Yeah, it's like, who is this? Usually, if a white man or a light colored person come in the house, they come to fix something. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, somebody's here to bring you some candy. I was just messing with them. So yeah, that was funny. I forgot that you came through there
during Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm doing that again this year, and then I think we're giving out pies again this year.
Yeah, you was giving out pies too. I don't think I was able to make that one. Yeah, but I remember you dropping off like the magnets and stuff like that. I still got that. Yeah.
But then I'll be sending those out again this year. It's getting to the we're like halfway through, but really we're like on the second half, getting to the end of the year. So it's like now I'm starting to still trying to bring in those like last minute people. But I already like kind of see how it's gonna go the rest of the year, unless there's like a surprise or sometimes usually there is. But it's like I'm kind of starting to like gather up my money to do heavy advertising for the winter. Yeah. To like come back next year and try to like push it. Like I've been doing like the podcast. I want to start some other things. So I got some other things that like maybe you'll make a surprise appearance on these other shows that I have. Yeah. I've been doing like trying to like do like more videos on Instagram because I see it's like I'm getting reaction. Like I'm getting like people that don't like my stuff are trying to like my stuff and they're trying to see my stuff now. And I'm like, let's go. Yeah. Nah, hey man, you're doing the right thing with being consistent. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Consistency. Yeah, some weeks it's like every day, and some weeks like once or twice a week. But I'm like, I'm always like at the end of the day, like I need to do it. I need to figure out something like with this. Like this will like at most I could have 3 videos from this podcast, and then the podcast itself, right? And then advertising like clips, and everything. Yeah, I could like I do like a serious clip. Which I do like. Well, like it's gonna be like a serious clip, a goofy clip, and then maybe like a more like serious clip at the end again. So I try to like set it, or I'll do like if I do 3 days, I might do like depending on what episode you are. I don't know yet. I gotta figure some stuff out. But if you are gonna be episode 10, I'm gonna do a montage all the way up to episode 9, and then it'll be like episode 10. Okay, cool. I might just hold this off until make this episode 10. Hey man, hold it to the right time to whenever you gotta release it, man. I enjoyed it. I'm happy to see that you out here doing something, something new. I'm happy to see the people too. Like I seen Josh Oaks, I seen Ski on there, so I'm like, oh man, I ain't seen these dudes in a while. You know what I'm saying? So it's nice to see people I ain't seen in a minute and they doing good and they doing okay. Like that make me feel good too. You know what I mean? Like. Because there's a lot of people we went to school with, bro, that's not doing okay, or you know what I'm saying, or they didn't even make it. Like they no longer here with us right now. So it's nice to see that other people are doing okay. Good. Yeah, it's nice. Brad, do you have any last minute shout outs? Do you want to shout out anybody? Do you want to say any last things? Shout out to anybody supporting Joe. Shout out to anybody supporting Joe. Like he doing this thing right now. If you're looking for a house, shop Joe DeSilva. And if you're looking for a car, stop at this man's place. Yes, he's at Naperville, Kia in Naperville. Yes, sir. Gerald, Naperville, Kia. If you need any used cars, new cars, whatever you need, or if you don't want nothing from what we got on stock,
like, still go ahead, just call me, and I could be that consultant for you and try to help you out. Like, some people call me and ask questions, like, they don't even want a Kia, they just, like, want to know how the numbers work. Like, all right, well, if I put $5K down and I want this car, like, what do you think my payment would be? You know, and stuff like that. And I kind of just, like, educate them on how the whole process works, because a lot of people never bought a car from a dealership. They might have been given a car, you know what I mean? So stuff like that, like, I help a lot of people out with that, and they'll be at a whole nother different dealership. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, I'm sitting in a Chevy dealership in Joliet right now, and this guy's trying to give me this car for this amount of month. And I'm like, FaceTime me. Show me the paperwork. Because I'm going to make sure you're straight at the end of the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to get cracked. And sometimes the salespeople be like, oh, shit. Like, the salesperson who was sitting there be like, oh, shit. Like, I can hear him like, oh, shit. Yeah, he's right. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get this fixed up for you. And they be like, oh, thank God I called you. Well, I'll be having people sometimes, like, they show me their paperwork afterwards. And they be like, I should have called you. They be like, yeah, you should have called me, bro. But it's too late now. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, if y'all need anything that got to do with a car, call me. You know who you need to call if you need anything to do with a house. Yeah.
A great one.